If you were asked to live in a poor area of Africa for 20 years, how long would you last? This may sound a little crazy, but in fact, in Nigeria, there is a Chinese guy who actually lived there for 20 years. He did not immigrate to live here, but because of work arrangements. For the past 20 years, the young man has worked closely with local farmers to grow so-called super rice. Super rice is a high-yield rice variety that can produce more food with less resources. Through the spread of this technology, he has helped about 800,000 people escape hunger. Now, this Chinese young man's good deeds have not only been widely appreciated by the local people, he has even been honored as the local chief. So, in today's video, we're going to tell this Chinese man's story in more depth. We not only talk about how he became the chief, but also explore the important technologies and changes he has brought to Nigeria in the past 20 years. If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Do you know how actively China invests in African countries? According to statistics, over the past 60 years, China has aided more than 900 economic and social development projects in Africa. These projects cover infrastructure construction, education, medical care, and other fields, and have made important contributions to the economic and social development of African countries. At the same time, China also strongly encourages its own companies to establish and operate economic and trade cooperation zones in Africa, creating a large number of local job opportunities and promoting the in-depth integration of China-Africa industrial chains. By the end of 2023, China's direct investment stock in Africa has exceeded $52 billion, and more than 3,000 Chinese companies have invested and established businesses in Africa. Among the agricultural fields invested in Africa, China's investment is the most noteworthy. But in the context of the 21st century, the development of agriculture has become an important core for the development of all countries. However, in this area, China has surpassed all countries in the world. According to data in 2023, China's total rice production will reach 270 million tons, and the total rice planting area is approximately 39 million hectares, accounting for more than 20% of the global rice planting area. Such huge output and planting area show China's leading position in the agricultural field. However, in comparison, the agricultural development of many African countries still lags behind. Due to climatic conditions and backward agricultural technology, it is even difficult for Nigeria and Africa to ensure that its residents can have a full meal. Against this background, in order to change this approach, a Chinese young man planted 600 hectares of rice in Nigeria, freeing 300,000 Nigerian people from hunger without any burden. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa. 35% of the population here relies on agriculture to provide employment. Therefore, agriculture has always been an important pillar industry of the country. However, despite the obvious importance of agriculture in Nigeria, it does not lead to a prosperous life. The barren land and lack of agricultural knowledge mean that most Nigerians still live below the subsistence line. In order to cope with the serious shortage of food, in 2004, the Nigerian government urgently needed help from the outside world and finally sought assistance from China to solve the hunger problem. As one of China's most important partners in Africa, China has responded positively to Nigeria's request. Subsequently, China sent an experienced agricultural expert and 9 trainees to Nigeria to assist Africa. As far as I know, this agricultural expert from China is named Wang Shumei. In 2004, Wang Shumei first set foot in Nigeria as a technician dispatched by China's agricultural project with the purpose of promoting the use of traditional Chinese basic agricultural tools and advanced rice planting technology to local farmers. The technical assistance team he led found a piece of uncultivated wasteland of about 600 hectares on the outskirts of Nigeria and planned to develop it into a large rice farm, aiming to serve as a practical base for demonstrating and promoting advanced planting technologies. But ideals are always beautiful and full, but reality is often skinny and cruel. Due to the inherent natural conditions in southern Nigeria, the climate here is very special and belongs to the savanna climate. The whole year can be divided into dry season and rainy season, but overall it is still hot and rainy. This climate is not only unfavorable to the growth of rice, but also causes weeds to multiply rapidly in the fields. The originally stunted rice was squeezed by weeds, and its living space became precarious. What's even more worrying is that the alarming growth rate of weeds makes it impossible to implement the team's original field management technical plan. Coupled with the rugged terrain, large weeding and farming equipment cannot operate properly. The original planned target output of this farm was 4,000 tons of rice, but in the end, the actual output only reached 300 tons. After this trial, Wang Xuemin and his team were greatly shocked. However, despite such a huge setback, Wang Xuemin had no intention of giving up. He knows that if China cannot help the Nigerian people, they will suffer from hunger for a long time. In order to allow rice to grow smoothly in such an environment, in 2008, Wang Xuemin and his colleagues began a new round of rice seed research and development experiments. In order to deal with the weed problem, Wang Xuemin hired more than 80 surrounding villagers to regularly go to the farmland to carry out weeding work. This not only solves the problem of overrun weeds, but also provides local employment opportunities and improves the living conditions of villagers. After more than 10 years of continuous investment and efforts, Wang Xuemin and his team finally successfully developed a new rice variety, Gawal R1, in 2017. After regional trials and production trials in Nigeria, results show that the average yield of Gawal R1 is at least 30% higher than previous rice varieties. In addition, Gawal R1 was successfully registered in Nigeria, becoming the first rice variety cultivated by private institutions to be named in Nigeria. What is even more exciting is that this is also the first rice variety to be officially named by the Nigerian government and recommended to other countries in the economic community of West African states. This breakthrough not only marks the great success of Wang Xuemin's team in rice research and development, but also brings new hope for agricultural development in Nigeria and even West Africa. After making some progress in the research and development experiments of new rice seeds, Wang Xuemin and his team gradually figured out a planting method suitable for local climate and soil conditions through continuous experiments and adjustments. They tailored a new planting method for local farmers, spreading and harrowing. After repeated trials, this method not only adapted to the local natural environment, but also greatly improved the survival rate and yield of rice. With multiple guarantees, the first batch of new rice grew smoothly, and golden waves appeared on the Nigerian soil. The yield far exceeded the local expectations. The yield of their Gawal R1 rice is 5 to 6 times higher than that of the original variety, setting a new African record. This achievement not only made a breakthrough in technology, but also showed huge economic and social benefits in actual production. By 2018, Gawal R1 had increased rice production in Nigeria by more than 2 million tons, benefiting at least 200,000 farmers and helping them solve their hunger problem. In order to help more people, Wang Xuemin contracted a larger farm to grow rice in Kebbi State, Nigeria, covering an area of more than 2,000 hectares. He not only brought new rice seeds, but also helped introduce basic Chinese agricultural tools, planting machines, threshing machines, and other intelligent mechanical equipment to enable local farmers to plant rice more quickly and efficiently. During the planting process, Wang Xuemin and his team helped solve the employment problems of more than 20,000 local people, providing them with stable jobs and income. In addition, Wang Xuemin has trained more than 5,000 local agricultural technicians and farmers, teaching them advanced agricultural technology and management experience. These trainings have greatly improved the planting level of local farmers, enabling them to better utilize modern agricultural technologies and increase production efficiency and yields. With more than 20 years of continuous assistance, Nigeria's rice production has achieved a historic breakthrough. According to data from Nigeria's Ministry of Agriculture, the country's average rice yield per mu has reached 500 kilograms in 2022, and the yield per mu in some experimental fields has been as high as 1,000 kilograms. So far, they have grown more than 3 million tons of rice in Africa, completely freeing 300,000 Nigerian people from hunger. This achievement is inseparable from the hard work and technical support of Wang Xuemin and his team over the years. Interestingly, because Wang Xuemin improved Nigeria's food security problem, he also set an example for agricultural development throughout Africa. Local villagers also awarded him the title of Honorary Chief to express their deep gratitude to Wang Xuemin and his team. In addition to Nigeria, China's rice technology has been adopted and applied in more than 20 African countries, including poor countries such as Burundi, Mozambique, Kenya, and Angola. Chinese experts use their agricultural knowledge and technology to continuously promote food cultivation in these areas. This is enough to prove that China's rice technology is taking root in African countries, growing vigorously and bearing tangible fruits. In fact, China has always adhered to the concept of common development and continued to increase the provision of agricultural infrastructure, agricultural inputs, technology, food, and other assistance to developing countries along the Belt and Road to help these countries gradually achieve independent agricultural development. The Nigeria Agricultural Technology Demonstration Center project and Wang Xuemin's local farming story are vivid manifestations of this cooperation and have become the epitome of agricultural cooperation between the two countries. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.